What else can I do for you?
We didn't talk about the Pastor Mike, the Money Channel.
The most important.
Yeah, the guy who signed, makes it all happen, delivering the word. So we don't have a track of that, but talk about what are you looking for? Clarity, presence.
Again, it goes back to the whole reinforcement, the reinforcement conversation. We're not trying to create a sound. We're trying to reinforce the way that person should sound in reality. Anytime you amplify a vocal, there's natural characteristics from the room, from the PA, from everything that causes it to be different. So we want to make it sound as natural as possible. There's not one way. It really just depends on the source and everything else that goes, room, PA.
Really comes in down to learning to identify your assessing your source, identifying frequencies that you're hearing.
Yep.
What are the problem areas, and how to know how to correct that. It's not like a magic number.
It's
high
not
pass
at all.
here, a cut here. You just gotta. It just takes practice and learning, and some trial and error.
The beauty of that is you are starting from templates, so you're starting from that's not something I like to just redo often. It is something you listen to for 45, I don't know how long but 30, 40 minutes, whatever. It needs to be pleasing. It needs to be, you don't want it to be over fatiguing. You listen to something that's kind of painful, it actually fatigues the ears for a while. So really paying attention to that, keeping it compressed so that it's not too dynamic, but you got to give him, you want him to have natural dynamics, but you don't want him to, if he yells, is getting excited, it's not just tearing everybody's head off. Right. And I know Daniel's he's pretty, he gets into it. I went to college with him, by the way, so I'm going to call him Daniel.
Yeah, he'll go from the chest hold here to here and yelling pretty quickly. So yeah. Mostly we get to handle that here, where we have more advanced tools.
Oh, that's true.
Via the waves,
because they're going to
send it out.
They're getting everything from living as one the majority of the time.
Yep.
Got it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Most of the time that is set up. I would have spent a lot of time ahead of time making sure that's set up, and then it's just the same all the time. But like if I go into a show, like some of my arena shows where I do have to kind of start from scratch, I don't usually get the opportunity to do it maybe until after sound check, but we set aside 20 minutes usually just to make sure somebody puts on the headset mic, they walk on stage. We spend a lot of time making sure that's perfect, that when I run that fader up to Unity, the pastor or whoever it is can walk out on stage, and I have confidence. We're not going to have feedback. We're going to have the volume we need. That's a very important aspect of it.
Yeah, and then there's the added caveat here of like a lot of times we have the band celebrating, big crash out. Pastor gets up and come on, church, let's see. You got to be ready for all that. In addition to
and that's where over compressing something will bite you.
Can hold you back.
Because it'll hold you back from actually getting his vocal out over top of the band. So it's very much a feel thing. There's a lot of things to remember.
Yeah, so we kind of set Unity, the 0 mark, as home base, like his normal speaking volume, but we're ready to go to +10 if he gets up here and is exciting the crowd. The band's crashing out full energy. So always be ready and tested to push that thing all the way up to +10 and get the extra volume you might need out of it. I forgot what I was supposed to ask you. Cool. I had another question related to that.
Money's the answer. What's the question?